Right, thank you, my friend. I want to go to Natalie Masachi, a remarkable young woman. She's a junior at UCLA, president of the Students Supporting Israel. Talk about a university that got pretty scary this week. Natalie, very good to have you. How do you feel about all this, what you've encountered at UCLA, what other students like yourself are dealing with, whether they're Jewish or not, that are caught up in this and they don't want to be?
Good morning, Neil. Thank you so much for having me here today. I mean, mixed emotions this week. We have not just seen here at UCLA, but on campuses across the university displaying anti-Jewish as well as anti-American actions. The spike in anti-Semitism this week has been more than Jews, including myself, can even fathom. On top of that, what we have mainly seen is graffiti swastikas. We have seen the Magen David, the Jewish star, which is the symbol of Judaism, with clear instructions wrote on campus to step here, inviting students to participate in stepping on this symbol. We have seen our American flag that was once waving high and proud on our campus replaced with the Palestinian flag. That is clear anti-American. We have heard for the destruction of the only Jewish nation, Israel. Jews only make up 2.4% of the US population. Today it is us. Tomorrow it can be you.
You know, Natalie, what's remarkable is some universities try to find ways around these protests, and maybe their heart's in the right place, but they might be making a pact with something far more controversial. I'm talking about Brown, Rutgers, Northwestern. There might be others that make this list dated, Natalie. But essentially, they are going to allow or put up for a vote a measure that would allow universities to divest themselves and companies that do business with Israel. I wonder, though, if that vote were defeated, in other words, that divestment was not allowed, whether we'd only see more protests, and that would trigger still more trouble.
Of course, yes. And unfortunately, we are fallen victim here at UCLA of pro-Hamas, pro-terror demonstrations here on our university, which led us to our campus being defaced, and we are suffering the post consequences of allowing and tolerating the encampment that was here this past week at UCLA. So it has been a very scary, very intimidating time, not just for the Jewish students, but for all students alike.
You're wrapping up your junior year, I understand. I hope I've got that right, Natalie. Yes. Do you want to go to UCLA in the fall?
Absolutely. I mean, I prayed and hoped to get into UCLA, and it has been my dream school, but the spike in anti-Semitism on campus has been unbelievable. And to me, I wouldn't be surprised if the incoming freshmen that are Jewish are second-guessing their decisions. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
What would you tell them, those incoming potential Jewish students?
So in my leadership role of Students Supporting Israel, I want to let them know that they do have a community, that there is like-minded individuals that are ready to embrace students that are supportive of Israel, that want to have a sense of community, and also feel that safety net that you are not alone.
Natalie, a remarkable and brave young woman. I know what you had to put up with. Natalie Masachi, thank you very much. Keep us posted on how things are going.
Thank you. So in terms of what's going on now, it has been a complete disaster on our campus. We have defaced our beautiful facilities that students pay very good tuition for. Yeah. There's graffiti, there is lots of trash, and I would just love to know if in part of their demands, was there a portion set aside for all this cleanup that was expected, or who is supposed to clean this up exactly? I think that UCLA should restore the expectations that come with being the ‑1 public university in the nation by upholding its standards that all students should abide by. But unfortunately, until then, we are just here waiting by.
Yeah, I see this happening across the country where all the troubles in the encampment, some of them are still very much in place. Natalie, thank you. I want to go to Bill Bratton, the former NYPD commissioner, to serve that same role in Los Angeles. Bill, what do you tell this young woman and those she reaches out to, younger students still to come to, whether it's UCLA or these other schools, whether they're targets, whether they should?
Well, effectively, and she's a very articulate and very sincere young woman, quite obviously. Keep up the fight. The common thread through all of these demonstrations on the 40 or so campuses that have had them is this virulent anti-Semitism. As much as they're trying to project that it's pro-Palestinian, pro-Gaza, human relief issues, that has actually almost been obscured totally by the very overt anti-Semitism being exhibited by so many of the demonstrators. So that's an issue that is creating fear, not only among the Jewish students and faculty, but among the larger population on those campuses. One good news aspect of this is these demonstrations usually involve several hundred individuals. UCLA has a student body of 30,000 students, 30,000. And at the height of this demonstration, there were several hundred, including large numbers of outsiders who aren't even actually students. So let's keep it in context in some respect that this is not a huge movement. It doesn't involve tens of thousands of participants. It is accomplishing what it is intended to do, though, attracting a lot of publicity to their issues and their cause. And in some respects, that's good, because what is the primary purpose of the cause of some of these demonstrators? Anti-Semitism, and also basically anti-U.S. Hatred.
Well, but it does trigger still more protest. I know we started out with about 6 or 7 institutions, boldface name institutions, Ivy League schools, and of course it's spread over, as to your point now, at better than 56. But having said all of that, Bill, what would you say to some of those schools that try to deal with this and negotiate with the protesters? I'm talking about Brown and Rutgers, Northwestern, that are open to